There are two kinds of people in the world: those we only meet for a few seconds but who leave a hugely positive impression, making us love life more, be happier, and trust people more, and those who make us feel uncomfortable, annoyed, lose faith, and feel desperate. These are the people you wouldn't want to meet for even a few seconds. As I get older, I realize that not everyone deserves our respect or trust. These people are becoming more common, and sometimes the most important thing we need to learn is not to pay attention to what they say or think. Stoicism tells us that everyone only cares about themselves and their own feelings and interests. Today, we will talk about 5 types of people you don't need to trust or respect. Let's learn how to spot them and how to protect ourselves from the bad things they might do. Before we start, I have a challenge for you. Watch the video until the end and pay special attention to one of the 5 types I talk about. Only one of these people could really help you learn more about yourself and the world around you. If you accept my challenge, you will create a space where we can learn and grow from each other's experiences and perspectives. Number 1. The narcissist. We often come across people whose hess wears us down. Someone who is excessively self-loving, or what is commonly known as a narcissist, is always trying to get attention and praise from others while ignoring the contributions of others. This behavior not only lowers the value of relationships but can also create a toxic environment. For example, a manager at work who always wants attention and praise from others will quickly claim all the credit without acknowledging the contributions of team members. In meetings, they often ignore or even argue with their colleagues' ideas just to make their own point. Researchers in psychology have found that people with these traits often have a deep fear of not being liked or noticed, so they try to make up for it by controlling their feelings and how they look in public. Stoic philosophy, which stresses peace and acceptance, can help us understand these kinds of people and deal with them better. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "When you are upset about something outside of yourself, it's not the thing itself that bothers you, it's your judgment of it, and you can wipe this out at a moment's notice." This helps us understand that we don't have to be swept away by our negative emotions. Instead, we can choose a more composed and self-directed approach. In the journey of confronting and understanding egotistical individuals, we not only learn how to protect ourselves from negative influences, but we also develop patience and inner strength. By applying lessons from Stoicism, we learn to stay calm not only in interactions but also in how we react to the world around us. The word narcissism comes from the Greek myth of Narcissus and means being too focused on yourself and your own wants. Narcissists are people who think they are better than others, need to be admired, and don't care about other people. People with these traits can end up in unhealthy relationships and settings, which can hurt not only themselves but also those around them. Knowing the main characteristics and actions of narcissists can help you spot them and deal with them in a healthy way. A big view of oneself. Narcissists often think too highly of themselves and how important and skilled they are. They think they are unique and special and deserve praise and respect. This sense of grandeur can show up in many ways, such as bragging about accomplishments, inflating skills, and wanting praise without achieving anything comparable. Need for too much admiration. One thing that sets narcissists apart is their never-ending need for approval and praise from other people to boost their sense of self-worth. They are always looking for praise and approval. It's possible for this need for attention to make them manipulate events and people to stay in the spotlight. Not having empathy. People who are narcissists have a hard time understanding or caring about other people's feelings and wants. They don't care about how their actions affect other people because they don't have empathy. This often causes mental harm and strained relationships. Behavior that is manipulative and exploitative. Narcissists often use manipulation and abuse to keep up their sense of self-worth and reach their goals. The people they take advantage of don't care about their own well-being, they just use others to get what they want. This kind of behavior includes lying, tricking, and taking advantage of people who are weak. Being open to criticism. Narcissists seem confident, but they are very sensitive to criticism and slights they think they have been given. They see any kind of criticism or rejection as a direct threat to their self-esteem. This makes them act defensively, like getting angry, denying it, or even hurting the person they think is criticizing them. It's important to know how to deal with narcissists. By recognizing their traits and habits, you can protect yourself from their toxic influence and keep healthier relationships. By understanding their need for admiration, lack of empathy, and manipulative habits. Number 2, the manipulator. In unhealthy relationships, manipulators hide their true selves well, making them hard to spot. They not only make victims suspicious and break trust, but they also make them feel helpless and controlled, like puppets in their own game. Dr. Danielle Hahn vividly describes this behavior as a carefully planned manipulative strategy. They often say things like, "You're overreacting, that's not what I meant," or "You're crazy," to twist the truth, weaken the other person's judgment, and make them doubt themselves. This creates a vortex of darkness where victims lose their own power and voice. When we look at specific signs, we see that this kind of psychological manipulation is often done in a subtle and smart way. Victims may not realize how bad things are until they are really into them. It's important to learn to spot these behaviors and deal with them honestly. Stoic philosophy, which stresses understanding and accepting the things we can't change, gives us tools to fight manipulation. It stresses building inner strength and not letting outside forces weaken us. As the Stoic philosopher and Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about how you can use Marcus Aurelius's advice to spot and fight manipulators in your life. This question isn't just a way to boost your confidence, it's also a powerful reminder that you have the power to change the world around you. Join the conversation in the comments. Have you ever dealt with manipulators? Tell us about it and share what you did to find and beat them. Together, we can learn and get stronger. One of the hardest things about life is figuring out who doesn't deserve our trust or respect and staying away from them. Third parties always feel like they're being treated unfairly and are having a bad time. This can be a real test because they're trying to get our sympathy and can also drain our energy and good spirits without meaning to. Number 3, the victim. A victim always thinks negatively and says that other people are to blame for their problems. They also say that their actions don't help solve their problems, which makes them feel completely helpless. We may meet this kind of person every day and feel sorry for them and want to help, but we don't realize that they may use our sympathy for their own gain. Victims often mess up the energy around them by always blaming others or events for their problems. This not only makes the environment bad, but it also makes them need other people's sympathy and care to feel better about themselves. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said that what counts is not what happens to you but how you deal with it. This statement is especially true for victims. They choose to see things negatively instead of taking responsibility and trying to make things better. One example of this is when one person always feels abused. For example, Mike and Linda work together in a small office in the city, but Linda often feels exploited by Mike. Mike, who always acts like the victim, seems to use his feelings to control Linda. Whenever there's a new project, Mike always says he's under a lot of stress and can't do much, leaving Linda to do most of the work. He also often asks Linda and those around him to feel sorry for him, but he never thanks them or acknowledges their efforts. Over time, Linda realizes that Mike's complaints are just a way for him to avoid responsibility and put the blame on others, which drains the relationship's positive energy and makes Linda feel helpless. Linda learns to set limits with Mike by not letting his feelings control her and telling him to deal with problems instead of avoiding them. Linda also sees that she needs to take care of her own health and balance first. How do you protect yourself from people who take advantage of your compassion? It's important to know when your compassion is being used against you and maintain healthy limits in that relationship. Being deeply aware of how harmful it is to play the victim not only helps you stay safe but also teaches the person how to save themselves instead of waiting for help from others. When someone has the victim mentality, they think they are always the victim of their circumstances or other people's acts. This way of thinking can be bad because it makes people feel powerless, like they don't have any responsibilities and like they can't control their life. Adopting a stern attitude can help people get over this way of thinking by making them more resilient, self-disciplined, and responsible for their actions. Take responsibility for yourself. It's very important to take responsibility for your deeds and choices. This doesn't mean you have to blame yourself for everything that goes wrong, it just means you know you can handle things in a way that fits with your values. Application: think about times when you felt like a victim in the past and figure out what you could have done differently. Think about what you can do differently next time something similar comes up. Enjoy the present moment. Stoicism teaches us to live in the present and not to think about bad things that happened in the past. It's important to realize that thinking about bad things in the past keeps you stuck in the victim mindset. Application: practice mindfulness techniques like meditation or deep breathing to bring yourself back to the present moment. Look for answers, not problems. Instead of always thinking about problems and bad things, try to find solutions and see the good things. Application: when you're facing a tough situation, try to come up with at least 3 possible solutions instead of thinking about how bad things are. Build a mindset of being strong. Stoicism teaches people to be strong and not let problems and obstacles change who they are. Application: read Stoic texts like those by Marcus Aurelius or Seneca to get ideas and understand how to stay strong in the face of problems. Make your life your own. Instead of letting circumstances or other people decide how you feel, you should take control of your life and choose your own way. Application: write down your goals and values and check them often to make sure you stay on your chosen path. By applying these Stoic principles, people can get rid of the victim mindset, gain a sense of control and empowerment, and face life's problems with more strength and resilience. When you meet people who make you feel like you're the only one who can solve their problems, it's important to set limits and know when their actions and words are having a bad effect on you. Number 4. The drama king, queen. Some people love to make things more dramatic than they need to be. This might be because of deep feelings of unease or a constant need for attention. To deal with these people well, it's important to know why they act the way they do and what it does to the people around them. People who always cause drama often have a strong need to be the center of attention. They often blow things out of proportion and create stress in their lives and in the lives of those around them. It can be tiring to be around someone like this because they are always in a whirlwind of their own making. So, how do you stay calm and composed when you're dealing with a drama king or queen? One important thing to remember is that you can't control how other people act, but you can control how you react. Don't get caught up in the drama, and keep your cool. Marcus Aurelius, a famous Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, said that what matters is not what happens to you but how you deal with it. When someone acts out dramatically, you need to keep your cool and not get involved in their emotional whirlwind. Recognizing when to walk away is also important. You don't have to stay in a situation where someone's need for attention is getting in the way of your peace and balance. To stay calm and in control, we need to use a few important strategies. Don't give them too much attention. Drama kings and queens thrive on attention, so giving them less of it can help lessen their behavior. React in a calm way. Don't get involved in the drama. Keep your cool, and don't let their feelings get to you. Set clear boundaries. Let them know when they cross the line, and don't be afraid to take a step back if necessary. Focus on things you can change. Remember that you can only control your own actions and responses, not those of others. Find peace within yourself. Find ways to deal with stress and keep your mind in good shape, like through mindfulness, meditation, or hobbies. Let's talk about our own experiences with dramatic people. Have you ever had to deal with a drama king or queen? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts and strategies so we can all learn and get better at handling these kinds of situations. It's also important to learn to spot manipulative people who use kindness as a way to get what they want. Number 5, the manipulator. Manipulators can be especially dangerous because they often use kindness and helpfulness to get what they want. They make you feel grateful and indebted to them, so you are more likely to do what they want. Understanding and seeing these patterns is very important to protect yourself. When we talk about manipulative behavior, we are talking about subtle ways that people use to get control over others. These actions often use social norms and expectations to get people to do what the manipulator wants. For example, a manipulative coworker might offer to help you with your work and then expect you to help them with their own tasks, even if it's not fair or right. They may use this to make you feel like you owe them something. Manipulators often play the victim or the hero, depending on what they want. By doing this, they change how you see the situation and get you to help them. Understanding these dynamics and keeping a strong sense of self and fairness can help you spot manipulators and stop them from taking advantage of you. If you know how they act, you can set clear limits and protect yourself from their tactics. Here are some ways to spot and deal with manipulative people. Look for patterns of over-the-top kindness. If someone is always giving you something and making you feel like you owe them something, that could be a sign of manipulation. Keep your sense of fairness strong. Be aware of when you are being asked to do something unfair or that doesn't feel right. Set clear boundaries. Be clear about what you can and cannot do. Don't be afraid to say no when it's necessary. Keep communication clear and direct. Manipulators often use vague language to avoid being held accountable. Be clear and direct in your own communication to avoid misunderstandings. Stay emotionally strong. Work on being emotionally strong so that you can handle these situations well and not let them get to you. Join the discussion. Have you ever had to deal with someone who was trying to control you? How did you know it was happening, and what did you do to handle the situation? By sharing our experiences, we can learn from each other and get better at spotting and dealing with manipulative behavior. In today's complex social landscape, recognizing and dealing with various challenging personality types is crucial for maintaining your mental and emotional well-being. By understanding and applying these insights, you can better navigate relationships and protect yourself from negativity. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about managing different types of people and improving your mental strength, please consider subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with our latest content designed to help you lead a more empowered and balanced life. Join our community by hitting the subscribe button and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's continue learning and growing together. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.